Moving on to our final sort of spotlighted player, we've got Group A, and that was, out of the I mean, it looks like 20 to 30 players at age 23 and under in that group. The one we've gone for is Federico Chiesa with Italy, and he's at the top end. He's a 97 born player, so he's going to be turning 24 later this year. But while we're at the Euros, he will still be 23 and very much within Scouted's purview. Steve, you've obviously watched a lot of Chiesa this season, but in terms of him working well in this Italy team, how does that work under Mancini?
Yeah, well, firstly, I think he's got a bit of a fight on his hands to, nail down a starting spot, because it looks like Domenico Berardi is going to be the right wing option to start the first game for Mancini. But whether he's starting or whether he's off the bench, I think he is a real X factor that can, as we've talked about already, we've said 100 times, but in a tournament, these kind of players surprise you. And Chiesa, his energy, his directness, and I think with players like Verratti, Barella, Locatelli feeding him the ball, he's going to be an absolute handful to contain on the break if Italy can get their counter-attacking game going. And then you got to think about him paired with Insigne on the other flank, and all of a sudden Italy become a bit of a scary prospect. So I'm so excited for this tournament to start, because after Italy missed the 2018 World Cup, it's good to now see some progression of some of these young players coming through, and I think Chiesa will be at the front of that. But there's nothing much more exciting than when he's leading the counter-attack, barnstorming down the right wing. He sometimes can get a little bit carried away and not make the best decision, but I think he's really refined his game a lot over the last year or so at Juventus, and he seems to be fitting in a lot more with other players rather than trying to be the one-man band he sometimes was at Fiorentina. So, yeah, goal scoring, creating energy, he will, off the bench or whether he's starting, will be, one of the players to watch.
I mean, something silly like, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know it's something silly, the number of games that Italy have now gone unbeaten in all competitions and all friendlies and stuff. So obviously they're coming into the Euros in good form. And obviously with a very good qualification campaign behind them. So yeah, with those young players there, that obviously your Chiesas. I mean, speaking of the skill set of Chiesa, I'm quite excited to potentially see he, alongside Chiesa leading those counter attacks. Maybe a flash of Giacomo Raspadori, who's the 21-year-old at Sassuolo, because he's got he can turn on the afterburners as well. It's fair to say, but yeah, with Chiesa, I think. I mean, if you're looking at a standout player, a standout attacking player in Group A, between Switzerland, Wales, Turkey, and Italy, aside from, of course, Burak Yilmaz at Turkey, I think, Chiesa is definitely one which could, some big celebrations could definitely be on the cards there.
And I wouldn't want to be a left back after 75, 80 minutes to look up at a stoppage and see the substitutes board up that says that Chiesa is coming on, and then having him run at you for the next 10, 15 minutes to finish off the game.
Because he's hungry, isn't he?
Yeah, because not only is he quick, but there's when he's in that mindset, like he really, really wants to get on the ball, and he'll just make it happen. He's got that that extra bit of will to win sometimes that will just propel in that extra 10-15% to really put on a show. He did it in the Champions League knockout tie against Porto, where he just decided, I'm taking it over this game. I've got to do something, and he scored a couple of goals and was fantastic. So we haven't seen it yet for Italy, so this will be his first chance to really show what he can do on the international stage.
The sliding doors moment for his international career, perhaps. He's sometimes like he can be a bit nasty in a way. Like when he's swatting off challenges, you get the impression that he's kind of just shouting no every time somebody tries to come near him as he's trying to break away, which I quite like. He's got that determination.
Yeah, I mean it's what Steve said. I think his improvement over the last sort of year or so has been really impressive. I think refine was the word that he used, and that's the perfect word really, because I always felt like even though he was talented, there was a lot of erratic decision making with his final ball and shooting in particular. I mean, he would for Fiorentina he would just kind of get the ball within anywhere of 30 yards and just fire a goal, and it would drive me crazy. It's like, what are you doing? There's people in like much better positions ready for the ball, or but yeah, no, I think he's really impressed me this year. He's added, he's kept that sort of similar goal threat, but he's added assists as well. His overall play is very tenacious and active, and like you said, he can either start or he can be a dangerous weapon, coming off the bench for the last 15, 20 minutes. So, like you said, I think he can be a kind of a joker option for Italy, who I've got a sneaky suspicion about as well, to do some impressive things in the tournament.
Yeah, he could definitely be a very useful extra time player, especially talking about those poor left backs. If he comes on in the 85th minute with the game still tied.